Yeah, me too, Kelsey. The Fever go out flat in a disappointing performance versus the Valkyries, 80-61. The first quarter, showed the potential of the Fever. They were playing fast, pushing pace. Clark was hitting in transition threes. We were up points. We had scored 20 points in, 7 minutes. Like the game was going good. And then it was all downhill from there. And before we knew it, we ended the quarter only up by 2, and then just run after run from the Valkyries, and we could never really catch up. And there was a few bright spots in this game. Honestly, I think that Clark's defense, despite the narrative, was actually pretty good in this game. And you can see from the very first possession, she reads the play, she deflects the pass, forces it over and back, and then draws an offensive foul from Kate Martin. You can see later in the game, she reads that they want to lob the ball into Kate Martin again, so she switches Lexi Hall, even waves off Kelsey Mitchell again, who comes over and tries to guard, but then plays the inbounder, gets a steal from that, goes in transition. Unfortunately, doesn't make it, but she had several steals during this game, and most of the points where she was getting beat is she was getting tired. That was just kind of my read of the floor, and I think that when she was on the court, they noticeably pushed the pace. Obviously, a lot of physicality that wasn't being called, and not like little stuff too. Like she was getting held on screens, like a lot of bad stuff. We'll get into that later, but it was just disappointing again. I think that sums up this game. It's like I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed, but happy regardless to have her back. And I think that KK was the other, pretty much one of the only other bright spots in this game. She had 10 points on 55% shooting. She had 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and she had a better game than Aaliyah Boston this game, which is not a sentence that I think I was going to utter in a game like this. Dantas had 8 minutes. They were trying to work her back in, breathe a little bit of life in the Fever. Her minutes weren't, detrimental on the floor. They were actually positive 7 points when she was on there. Hall, she led the team in rebounds with 9, had 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 points, and just had her work cut out for her, but she helped in a lot of the matchups for tonight. And yeah, really the Fever, I think a lot of it can be summed up with our shooting was awful. Like not good shot selection. Players looked off. We looked body snatched in this one. Howard and Aaliyah Boston, 2 of the most efficient shooters in the WNBA, shot 25%. Kelsey Mitchell shot 23%. Aaron McDonald shot 22%. Like when you have 2 of the most consistent shooters in the league and they're putting up this big of stinkers, and your rookie is over here, still chugging along on 55% shooting and having a better night than most of the team, like you kind of have to like scratch your head. And I think that some of it is props to Golden State's defense, but I mean, I don't think their defense was as impressive as our shot selection and missing as many shots as we were. Meanwhile, Veronica Burton had like the night of all nights. She shot like 80+% from 3. She was 5 for 6. She had some really good moves down low, even when she missed them. Like honestly, like she jumped off the screen for me tonight. Kayla Thornton, again, we held her to 26% shooting, but didn't matter because she still was 40% from 3 and drained 4 threes. And we kept leaving her open on the perimeter, and that's just like a common theme throughout the night. We had less turnovers in the Valkyries, despite having 10 in the first half, which was a surprising stat at the end of things for me because the game just felt so messy. But since we couldn't really shoot well and score and finish for the night, it just, we had all these turnovers, but we weren't actually converting a lot of them, which definitely hurt us. And what was worse than that, I think, was the rebounding. The rebounding tonight, 47 rebounds to 36. So we got out rebounded, but also offensive rebounds were the killer. I mean, they got like 3 or 4 attempts on some possessions when we could turn the tide and swing things. And there's just those moments where it's like in the games where we play really well, like we are going full tilt. We're giving it everything. We're running, we're gunning, we're fighting for all the plays. And in this one, it just felt like we were giving up some of them, and they were flying through and they were fighting for all the plays. And that's just not the place that you want to be in these games. And they're just a frustrating team to play against because of the way they play. And I knew we were probably cooked, when we started the third, and very quickly things went off the rails further. And Stephanie White had to call a timeout immediately and basically like chew the team out and be like, do you even want to win this game? Like, what is going on tonight? And, some of that is the fact that Golden State is an aggressive, frustrating team to play against. They're bumping, they're hacking, they're holding you, and you know, AB ended one of the quarters like staring down Amahir because Amahir was like blocking out and like took a shot at her while like they're shooting at the buzzer. Like it's the end of the court. Like you don't have to, like, why are we fighting her for position or doing any of this stuff? And Aaliyah Boston's literally just like, what are you doing? And of course the refs aren't going to call anything because the refs let all of this happen tonight. And I don't want to blame the refs because we didn't shoot well tonight. We didn't play our best defense tonight. Got out coached tonight as well. And so at the end of the day, it's not on the refs, but there are a few things that are just like hard to forgive, you know? And I think the one sequence that sums it up for me that was like I honestly would think would be discipline worthy would be a very clear case of like retaliation from a ref to a player. And that is when they were lining up for a jump ball and Sophie Cunningham is there with Tiffany Hayes. And there's like a little bit of a back and forth and scuffle. And the ref comes in and he's arguing, you know, with Cunningham, and Cunningham's describing her position. So he just says like, hey, stay there in your spots or whatever, and huffs away. And then the tip happens. Tiffany Hayes gets the ball. So the two players who were involved in that altercation, and then Tiffany Hayes like rips through into Sophie Cunningham's chest. Suddenly Sophie Cunningham arms up, gets pushed back from it, and the ref calls it on Sophie Cunningham. Like that is crazy to me because it seems like that he was retaliating against her because she frustrated him. And so it's just like one of those things where it's like, this is unacceptable. Like you can't be doing this as a ref in a league and have it be this one-to-one blatantly obvious. Like we can clearly draw the line of what you were thinking, and you can't pretend that like, oh, like that was really a foul on Sophie Cunningham. And it's just these type of things. They're just like I can't take the WNBA seriously. Like sometimes I just like, I can't do it. Like, because this is BS. So honestly, at the end of the day, you can't win a game shooting 28% or whatever the heck we shot. It was not good. And I'm confident in the team that they will get back to form and Clark will breathe some life into them. But the team that we saw improving, I don't think Clark affected them negatively. Clark didn't make them shoot worse tonight. In fact, usually, historically, I did a video on this. They shoot better when Clark is on the floor. So whatever happened tonight, like that's just a one for the record books of cold shooting, and it makes you kind of understand probably how the Aces and the Lynx felt when they had their terrible shooting nights and they got held to 50 some odd points. You know, at least we broke the 60 mark there. But man, what a rough night for the Fever. They'll bounce back though. I'm fairly confident. They have a tough matchup on Friday against the Atlanta Dream, but I think that they will play up to their competition and they will perform better. Thanks for everyone for supporting me. I'm halfway to 10K subscribers, which is crazy to me. Things are going really well with my videos, and so I just wanted to kind of reach out for this. Like normally I ask a question about the game, although this game's pretty much a downer, so I know what the comments are going to be. But leave a comment if there's a piece of content that you are interested in, a breakdown you want to see, or something that I can create. I'm looking for more ideas and stuff to add to my rotation of content and experiment and try stuff out. So if there's something you want to see from me, let me know. Put it in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, remember, you're going to be amazing today because you are amazing, unlike the Indiana Fever. And I'll catch you next episode.